Welcome back to the second part of the modeling of a Micro Uzi for 3D printing. If you haven't checked out the first part, I'll go and check out part 1 to see the main blocking out stages and get into this position. If you have gone from there, let's carry on in this one, and what we'll start doing is adding in a bit more detail, start making it a little bit more like the picture, a lot less blocky. So let's crack on. So what we got is the main shape, the main block out, where we emphasized earlier. It's quite important to get that. Now I would say the secondary details will start to come in, start taking a bit more shape, giving it a bit more softer edges in that, so it's not as harsh. So let's start into wireframe. We can kind of see that, we can see all our positionings. So let's just start off here, grab this block over there, so just there, we're just going to grab it, and then we'll start adding in some shape over there. So I'm just going to go into edit mode, edge, Control R, throw in a loop cut, put in a loop cut there, take one there, another loop cut, add one there, go into vertex mode, just grab this in wireframe. You can grab them so it's grabbing both, just ensure that you grab both. Grab it there, so just G, and we'll move it up in the Z. It's GZ, move it up over there, that's good. Do the same on this side, so we've got GZ and move it up there. So what that's given us is just that bit of shape. Perfect. Let's carry on. So next thing we're going to look at is let's look at the top piece over here. So we can see there's a bit of ridges at the top going up, and then there's the cut here. So instead of doing a Boolean cut out, I'm just going to do some edge loops. So let's go object mode. Let's grab the top one. So we're just grabbing this one. Go back into edit. We'll go in edge, and we'll throw in another loop cut. So it's putting the loop cut there, over there, following that line. We can throw a couple vertical loop cuts, maybe do one there. So that'll be the start of it, and then we'll do one up again here. And we can add that bit of depth going up. Again, these might not be the best ways to do it, just the way I've been doing it. So as I kind of said in the first one, I've been using Blender for about a month and a half. It's fairly intuitive in the sense of quite easy to follow. Alright, so what we're going to do is, the first is we're going to do the top piece here. So what we can do is we can grab that edge. It's probably in line with that edge there, so we grab there. We can GZ, move it down, and then we can follow those down. And let's actually cancel that. Throw in another loop cut over there. And what we can do is we'll grab those again. So just selecting those, holding shift, selecting those, GZ, move it down. Perfect. So that side's probably alright. Take that, we'll leave that at the top, and then we'll just grab these two over here, GZ, move it down. Just give it a bit of that shape over there. What we could do with these ones over here, so just grab these all, and GZ, we'll move those up. Over there, actually cancel that again. Let's add another loop cut, add a loop cut there, grab these ones, GZ, and we'll move those up. So give it that bit of shape. So let's go into object mode. We can see it over there. It's roughly around. We could join these ones up there. There's a bit of cleaner topology. I have a little less, but it should be alright. It's all quads in that, so it should be fine, especially for when we throw in subdivision surfaces in that, which we'll do in a bit. Alright, let's go back to object mode. Let's have a quick look at it. Alright, so it's starting to take a bit of shape there. Let's go into edge. Let's go there. Front view. Alright, let's grab object mode. So grab this box over there. We're grabbing here. And what we could do is we're just going to add in here. So we can just use a bevel, and then we'll bevel that out and add some segments. So let's go into edge mode. Let's grab that edge at the top. Front view. Control B. And we'll bevel it. Let's scroll with your mouse wheel and then get, so it's just one, and we'll add that bit there. Go back into edge, grab that one. Front view, Control B, bevel, and then we'll throw in some segments there. Just scroll on the mouse wheel and then add some segments. Give it that nice curvature look over there. So that's pretty good. What we could do actually at this point is just grab these two edges. Let's go back into front view. we'll go wireframe just so you can see, because it does curve. It's a bit softer. So Control B, and we got those bevel, the bevel on, and then we'll just throw that bevel in with some segments there, soften that out again. Go back into, and there we go. So we've got it soft. We'll cut that out. We'll just use the same shape. Wireframe mode. All right. So this one, what we could do is let's just go back to object. Let's grab it. Edge mode. Grab that top edge. Just make sure you're grabbing the top one. And Control B, bevel, and we'll bevel that there. Perfect. We'll come and cut that out, and I'll show you how. I'm just going to use a Boolean for that. Back to object mode. Let's grab this one, and we're just going to kind of repeat the same process. Just make sure you're in front view or orthographic, which I think is number 1 on the keypad. So if you're using that, I am just using the quick panels here, which is an add-on. Control B again, just there. We got some segments. We'll use that. Let's grab that one. Front. Control B again. Take out the segments again. So we just got a flat there. Then what we'll do is we'll just grab those edges again, and we'll bevel them again. So we'll do that. Add some more segments, and give it a bit of curvature again. Yeah, like I say, it's not going to be perfect. But for what we're doing, the scale, I do it in 1/12 scale, 3D printing, so it's quite small. So yeah, it's important to have good detail, but I'm going to say for me, the pure accuracy is not hugely important. All right, let's quickly just grab this one. What we're going to do is we're going to Shift S, throw up here, and then let's go cursor to selected. Shift A, drop in, and let's drop in a cylinder. 32 segments is probably, actually, let's just bump that up to 64. It was rotated on the X 90 degrees, and then just scale it in. So just make sure you're in front view. Probably wireframe again. I use wireframe quite a lot, just so you can see where I'm using quite a lot of references in that. And you just kind of line it up so it's roughly where there it is. So we can see that the cut we're going to look there is going to take that. Let's go back to object mode. Let's grab that cylinder, scale it in the Y, just so it extends out. What you could do is, I use, again, add-ons a lot. So I think it's a hard ops add-on. Whilst that one's selected, just shift select that one, control minus, and boom, we've got ourselves a cut. What it will do is, it's awesome, it will create another collection, and it'll be called cutters. So all the ones we're using cutters, your outline cutters, are going to be there. You can just untick that so you're just not visible. They're all still there. And then we can see if we need to do adjustments later, we can do that. You could do the same process. If I untick there, you can just create your own collection, call it cutters, for the same principle, whilst that was selected before. So let me Control Z that, go back. What you could do is just grab that one, instead of using the add-on I'm using, you just go into a Boolean. So all we're doing is a difference Boolean. We're taking the difference, we're just going to that one and a difference Boolean, and that's it, and it's just going to subtract it from there. Again, let me just grab that, control minus, and it's the same thing. So it's just a difference Boolean. It's highlight cutters, not all of it, just the cutters. Cool. So now that we've got that, we can grab that. Let's go front view. Let's go edge mode. All right, so you can see there's a Boolean applied, like we've just gone through. Whilst that's applied, you can see, because we haven't applied the Boolean, it's still showing the outlines of the actual square shape, because if I ticked it off, it's still there. This is just before it becomes destructive. So what we want to do is we will apply it later, and we'll soften out these edges, and it'll all be good. But again, we'll pick that up in a bit. All right, so overall shape's looking all right. What we could do is actually at this point, let's probably just make these ones look a little bit nicer. I say nicer, not as harsh over there. So it's extremely harsh. Again, I use add-ons. So the add-ons I'm using, I'll drop a link in the below. The add-ons I am using, really awesome add-ons. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit Q, and it's going to give me, so this is hard ops add-on, gives me a bevel. So if I just click bevel, let me escape that, zoom in so you can see it a bit nicer, hitting Q, bevel, and And then whilst it's ticked, I can just move my mouse either side, and it's the amount of bevels. So it automatically, so let's just say we want to do, that looks right. That looks nice. And we'll just click that in. So you can see all it's done is, so what we'll do is we'll do the same, and I'll show you how to do it. What it's done is it's just thrown in a bevel. It's also shaded smooth, which is quite cool. And then it goes into your normals and it plays the auto smooth. So what that basically is, so let's do this with this one. So we'll go in, we're going to apply a bevel. So we know we're going to go 3 segments there, and we're going to do the offset. But you can see a lot of the topology and all of that still. So all this one's doing is it's just playing there. So hit shade smooth, go down, auto smooth, and it's nice and clean. So it's the same thing. I'm just using add-ons for it. So I'm just untick that, grab that, Q, bevel, nice level of control. Just use your mouse, how many you want to, just moving it across. Again, that's perfect. That's all we're doing over there. Actually, you know what? Let's pump that up a bit. Yeah, that's maybe too much. Let's make that 1. Perfect. Cool. Just softening it up. Make that 1. Cool. Just going to soften that up. Let's move across. Let's have a look what else we've got to do. Alright, so it is taking shape. Starting to look what it is. We'll cut these out, make them all look a bit thing. So you want to add on, we can just shade smooth this for the time being. Then just go down, normals, auto smooth, just smooth it out, make it nice, take away those harsh shadowing. Same with this one, we can just shade smooth and that. Just know when we are 3D printing, the shade smooth makes it look smooth, maybe for renders in Blender. What I find is when you 3D print, it's still going to come out quite rough. So we do need to apply some subdivision surfaces, which we will do. Perfect. So let's crack on. So we got that. That's looking pretty sweet. That's looking all right. It's all kind of really taking shape. So let's maybe work on the section over here. So it's going to here. Let's grab this one, go into the wireframe mode, and we can see that kind of comes out, looks a bit separate. What we'll do for ease is we'll do a separate one there as well, and then we can add some detailing on. So let's drop in, let's go to edge mode, loop cut, probably throw one in about there, loop cut, about there, loop cut. We can do one probably about there, and one about there. Face mode, and what we're going to do is you're going to hold Alt, click in it, and just select it. If it selects that way, just go closer to the vert going that side there, the horizontal vertical, horizontal vert. Select it all. What you're going to do is you can Shift D, duplicate. We can move it away. Right click, cancel that. P, move it to its own selection. So we're going to hit select. Then we're going to go back to object mode. What we're going to do is we're going to grab that new one that we just created its own selection for. So let's go back there, and there it is. So if you grab that, you can see it's just split those faces out into its own selection. And we're going to go into modifiers, apply a modifier, and we can go solidify modifier. Even thickness, let's just zoom in there so we can see what we're doing and pump that up. So just pump it out, and boom, there we go. So we got that. We'll just soften off those edges. So let's go into edge mode. Can't actually see it, so just go over there and click here. Then we can see the edges there. So what we can do is we can grab this one. It'll be both sides because we haven't applied the solidify. Hold Shift, Alt, click again, select it all, Control B, bevel it. Can't. Yeah, we can't at this point just because we need to apply the solidify. So let's go back to object mode. Let's go here. Let's go apply, back to edge mode, and then what we can do is we can just grab these again. So holding Alt, click, grab the whole selection, Shift, Alt, click, grab that one, Control B, and we can bevel it. Actually, cancel that object mode, Control A. Let's apply the rotation and scale because we rotated the cylinder earlier, just to make the bevel work a bit better, and we changed the scale. So go back to it. Let's go back to edge mode, keeping those, Control B, and you'll see, yep, that's better. So grab that and we can bevel those out. There we go. Now we got softer. Perfect. So let's go this one. Let's go edge mode, front view, actually not edge, face mode. Hold Alt, click, grab it all, duplicate, right click cancel, P, its own selection, go back to object mode, and let's grab that. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So go back here, apply a modifier, solidify, even thick this, pump those up, throw it up to about there, it's probably good, and I'm just going to apply it straight away. And we won't bevel this one at this point because we're going to add in some of those details, not exact like that, but we will we'll add them in. So if we just go into edge mode, object mode, grabbing this, edge mode, not wireframe, because we haven't applied, alright, sorry, I didn't apply the modifier, so let's just apply the solidify, back to edge mode, and now we've got the edge. So let's just go into front view. And what we're going to do is we're going to create cuts. So just Control R, throw in a loop cut, and scroll your wheel up, and just create more. So let's create these, and what we could do is click, right click, center it, and perfect. Then we'll go into face mode. So stay in face mode. Let's click, shift click, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do Alt click, grab it, shift Alt click, click. So if we zoom in, we can just get it a bit better. Just holding Alt and Shift, grabbing all of these. Leave that space over there. We go to selection, and then we're going to go checker deselect. So now it's going to select in the checker deselect some of them, so it gives us a bit of random shaping. And then what we can do is we're going to inset. So just push I, inset, hold Shift, you get a bit more control over it, and we're going to inset those there. Perfect. Once we've got inset, we're going to extrude. So E to extrude, and grab those. Just pull them out. Right click, right click to cancel, so we put them back. Then we're going to go Alt S. So Alt S to scale, and then you just move your mouse up and down. So what we'll do is we'll move it out a bit, give it a bit there, and then we're just going to scale it in. So let's just have a look at what we're doing. I think if we go to top here, individual origins, S for scale, and we can scale those in. Perfect. And then just throw another inset, hold it there, and brilliant. Then that's that. Scroll out. Looks a bit odd at the moment, so we can smooth that out. We could have added actually a few more loop cuts if we made the circle a bit, the cylinder when we dropped it in, but it'll be all right for now. Alright, so we got that bit of detailing. We can fix this, so let's just do that one quickly. So we've got in object mode, grab there, front view, there, Control R, loop cut, edge, got to go into edge mode. So edge mode, Control R, loop cut, throw one there, Control R, loop cut, and we'll throw one there. Face mode, holding Alt, grabbing those all, and what we can do is we can extrude. So E to extrude, right click cancel, Alt S to scale, and we can scale that in a bit. So whilst that's scaled in, and then I inset, grab that inset there, and perfect. Back to object mode, out of there. Can't see it much now. Once we solidify subsurface, it'll become a bit smoother. So let's grab this one. Let's actually Control A. Let's apply the scale and the rotation, because we did, and then we can throw on a bevel at the end. So we can go into edge mode, grab there, Alt, and let's bevel it. We'll actually just do one, give that bit of bevel, back there. Right click, shade smooth, just so you can see what it looks like. It's looking a bit nicer there. Let's go back to face mode. Let's grab that face and we can just inset that. I'm just going to inset that there, and let's have a look at what it looked like there. Alright, so that's quite cool. So what we could do is inset it again and inset it again. E to extrude, and then just push it back in, and we can inset a little bit there. What we can do is go face mode there, grab those loops there, and we can extrude those in a little bit as well. Give it that little bit of depth. What I might do here is actually scale it a little bit. No, let's undo that. It should be alright actually, like that. Just to create that bit of what we're looking at over here. Just that bit of depth. Perfect. So let's carry on. This one there, one underneath, we can just shade smooth that. Make it look nice for now. Potentially actually, Control A, Shift A, rotation in scale, edge mode, Alts, grab those, Control B, and we can bevel those. That's looking alright. Okay. This one over here, let's actually grab that for now. Let's add that so it just adds that depth there. So we can grab it to the bottom. So let's go front view. We can scale in the Z. No, scale in the X. Grab it in the X. Let's move it out. So it's about there. That's probably about right. Let's have a look. Scale in the Z. X. And then G, Z. Move it down slightly. And then what we can do is go for face mode. Grab it, the underneath face there. So if we just bring that to loco mode, we can just bring it to there. See the bottom face. What we're going to do is we're going to extrude that down. So we're going to just push E, pull it down to about there, to the bottom. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab that face, and we're going to grab that face, and we're going to scale it in the Y. No, we can't scale it in the Y. What do we do? Just G, Y. Edge. Apologies. Just grab that edge. G, Y. Move that out a little bit over there. Just so it straightens out. G, Y. Move that out a bit there. We could have probably done this a bit better, but it'll be alright for now. Let's have a look. Alright, so it's starting to take shape. So whilst we're on this one, let's just grab it. Duplicate, so Shift D, duplicate it, scale it in the Y. Sorry about that. So grab that. So let's scale it in the Y. Scale it in the X out. And we can grab it in the Z and move it up. So we can probably actually add a bit more. So scale it in the Y, make it a bit more narrow. We're going to use this as a cutter. So we're just going to go there. Same with Z, Boolean, difference Boolean. I'm just going to use the hard ops add-on. So whilst this is selected, we're going to hold Shift, grab that, Control minus, and there she is. Gone. What we could do there with the top one is, whilst we've actually got the 3D there, let's add a cylinder. Mesh, cylinder, scale it, rotate in the Y 90 degrees, and then what we're doing is I'm looking over there, and you can see it just bunches up. So let's go to right view, go in there, scale that's up, grab it in the Z and move that up. Probably need to scale that a bit more. Make that G, Z, move it down, scale in the Y. Alright, and then grab there, shade smooth, normals, grab that one, Control minus, again just the Boolean. So all I'm adding in is a Boolean to this one, so we just add another difference Boolean. There, that one's going to go to the cutters. Just hide the cutters. Actually, it doesn't go automatically, so just push M, move to collection, and just throw it in the cutters, and that will disappear. So it'll give us our top piece. Again, we'll fix all these edgings and all of that. Whilst we add it, let's go to the front view, grab that one, Shift D, duplicate, move it there, scale in the Y in, scale in the X, grab in the Z, and Shift, grab that one, Control minus, if you're using the hard ops add-on. Otherwise, just go and add a boolean again, difference boolean from one to the other, and that's going to give us that. So let's move into there, starting to take a bit more shape again. So let's start adding some subdivision surfaces. Actually, before we do that, let's go there, let's go face mode. Let's add in, so let's go front view. So we know the grip, so it's going to run to the edge there. It looks like it's a separate piece, so I can probably show you on this one a bit better. We can see this is a separate piece, so let's just take it out from the cut we've got. Back to front view, go down. So let's go face mode, let's grab it. If you hold control from the top there, that one, it'll select all the ones between. We're going to do that again, so we're just going to control that one and then shift grab these ones up to the top there. Again, just hold control, click that one, shift control, click that one, and now we've grabbed all of them. So we've got all the ones around. Shift D, move it to its own, duplicate it, right click, P, selection, object mode, and we can grab that. So look, we've got that. Now we've got this extra piece over there. So we just rotate, you can see we've just got those faces. And then what we're going to do is just Control Z, put it back into place. Front view, we'll add a solidify to this, give it some thickness. We can do this one out, so this will just come out, so even thickness, and we'll just push it out, give it some thickness there. Perfect. That's probably about right. Then what we could do is, whilst we've got that, we can apply this. So let's just apply it, and then we're going to add a subdivision surface. We're going to smooth it out. So what we need is pump those up to about 3. Let's go into vertex edge mode even. Vertex doesn't matter actually. Object mode, edge mode. Sorry about that. What we can see is this is loco mode. It's gone there. So we just need to bring in the sharpness again. So let's go front, throw in a loop cut, and we'll bring one there. Throw in a loop cut. Take one about there. Throw in a loop cut at the top. Just bringing that up. And we can do one at the bottom. Brilliant. Alright, so now we've got that. Let's go out of loco mode there. Let's go into object mode. You can see that a little bit better what we've done. So it's just loco there. And now we've got that bit there. So what we could do is we can just shade smooth, normals, auto smooth, and that's looking good. So let's bring it back. So we've got our grip within there. Whilst with that, let's just select the other look of view to the full one. What I can do is just going to apply the scale, go back to edge mode, grab all these edges, shift control, grab those edges, and just throw in a bevel. Throw in a couple segments just to soften that up a bit. Perfect. It's loco mode, which is just the slash key next to the shift key on my keyboard, just in case you want to just bring that so you can just see what you're doing a bit easier. Alright, so we've got the grip. What we'll do is we'll add these ridges in again in a bit. Let's grab that. Let's just add that extruding part out. So let's go edge mode. Let's drop in a loop cut. Let's grab there. We can just throw in a loop cut there. Go face mode. Grab that face. E to extrude. Right click, cancel. Alt shift, and we can push those both out equally. Then what we'll do is we'll just go back to edge mode, grab that edge, grab that top edge there, just make sure I've got another one. And what we're going to do is G, Z, move it down, and that's it. Once we apply subdivision, we'll add in the bit more curvature on all of that, and we can add the detailing in. So for this, actually, let's just throw it and do it now. So subdivision surface, go 3 segments, control, shade smooth, auto smooth, just make it look nice. Edge mode, throw in a loop cut there, and again, I'm going to cancel that, Control Z, the / just so we can bring it to loco, edge mode, Control R, throw in a loop cut and bring that up. Let's go front view. We can put one there. We can do one there. Put one there. And again, so go back into object mode and we can see that's added a bit nice. Could probably fix that all up a little bit again, but that's fine. Let's go front view. Let's go object mode. Actually, probably at this point, let's try and make it a bit consistent so it's all on the same level. Start adding some subdivisions. So what we'll do is we'll grab there. Let's go edge mode. Throw in a loop there. Control B just to split that out. No, let's actually not do that. Let's go there. So throw in a loop cut, move it across. Throw in a loop cut, move it across. Throw in a loop cut. Just giving some supporting edges just before we do that, and then we can throw in the subdivision surface. Pump that up to about 3. Object mode, we did shade smooth, auto smooth. It's looking a bit better. Let's do the same again. So where I did the edges before, just because once you add the subdivisions, it's just going to break it down like that. We just need some supporting edges. Again, shade smooth, auto smooth. Edge mode, go in the front, Control right. So those are probably the same, so we can just do a Control B, split that out, just have it consistent on each side. And then we can add another loop cut there, and we can add another loop cut there. What we'll do is we'll add another loop cut in the middle there. Click, right click, center it, Control B, and we can split it. When we split it, we can just add in this little bit of detailing in the front here. I'll show you what I mean. So that little bit in the front. So let's just add that in. All we can do is we can just hit extrude, right click cancel, Alt S, and we can extrude that out. And then we're just going to hit I, inset it, and we got that. Boom. So we got that little bit of detailing, which will come up quite nicely in a print and in the render. You can see that's a bit close to there. So actually, let's just go front view. Let's grab that, and that's probably a bit too back. So let's actually add a loop in there. What we could do is we can just throw that loop there. So just give a bit of that curvature. We can add another loop in here, and we're going to do is we're going to grab that loop, and we're just going to bring that down actually, down there slightly. And we're going to select all. So just hit A, select all, G, grab Z key, and just move that down slightly. And that's fine. Just to give it that bit of distance. Alright. So let's grab here. And then we can see that there's cuts in there. So all we're going to do again is the just do a quick boolean. We can see it's got a bit of ridges. So let's just apply the scale. No, let's grab that again. Control A. Apply this scale. What we're going to do then is go edge mode. Let's grab these two edges, that side and that side. Control B. So let's just bevel those. Let's bevel those up to about there. Then what we can do is we can go into object mode, front view, Control D to grab it. P, no, because we just duplicated it. SX, scale it in the X. And whilst you're on that, shift click this one, / so we can go into the local view, so we can just see this. Let's go back to that, grab that. It's G, Z, let's move that down to about there. GX, move it back, and what we're going to do is we're going to just throw an array on. So if we do that, we can go array, let's increase our segments, let's increase the distance, so that's probably a bit big, so let's hit SX, scale those, That's probably a bit better. And then just pump up our segments. So the distance there, let's put that at 2. And then let's just increase the segments. So that's probably 2.1. Way too much. So 2.005. Better. Just want the distance to be fairly equal there. Alright, now that we've got that, so let's grab that. GZ, move that down slightly. So we've got that. Whilst that's selected, hold shift there, and what we're going to do is just control minus on the hard ops add. Again, it's just a boolean, difference boolean from one to the other. We'll cut that, and there it is. Let's move to the cutters nicely. So let's go / so we can see it all again, and now we've got that. Let's just GX, move that back slightly just so it's a bit on there. Perfect, and that's about right. Alright, so let's have a look at what we've got. So it's not, overall it's not looking too bad just yet. Actually, I want to bevel that a bit more. So let's increase this amount. That's better. Again with this one, just going to bevel that a little bit more. Great stuff. Okay, so let's have a look. What we've got is there. So let's have a look at maybe cutting this part out here and adding this in. Again, just going to do it in a quick way. I like using booleans and that. It's not going to be the cleanest topology and all of that, but again, for 3D printing, what we're wanting, it's going to be okay. So I'm just going to add in a cube. So let's drop in a cube. Let's grab that cube. Let's put it there. Let's scale the cube down. Get it about there. Scale in the X. Let's grab it there. That's probably good for us. Let's apply the scale, because we're going to add in straight away. We're going to just go local view so we can see it. Grab that edge, grab that edge, grab that edge, and that edge. Out of local view, let's go front view again and we can see it. Now we're going to, once you've got those edges selected, Control B, and we're going to bevel them. And then what we're going to do is throw in some segments, and we'll just create that shape over there. So you can create a perfect circle, but it's not actually, so that's probably about right. Just go with that. If these do overlap and you see that we're going all funny, just hit the clamp over view and it'll lock it in there so it doesn't. Now that we got that, let's go back to object mode. Can't actually see it, so let's grab it, G, Y, and move it forward. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into front view. Now that we've got it, we know it's in a roughly the right spot. Let's have a look at the depth. We'll just eyeball it, see in the depth. Object mode. Let's go shade smooth, auto smooth to get rid of those segments. It looks a bit neater. And what we could do is actually, because it curves and then it curves in, there's a bit of there. So let's go edge mode. Let's grab those edges there. It's local view. So all I've done is I've grabbed that there, and what we're going to do is we'll throw in a bevel, actually like that, just to give it that bit of extra. Don't want it as harsh. Maybe cut a few segments like that. Perfect. Alright, let's go out of local, so / back to object mode, grab it in the Y, and we're going to just push it in there, just so it's overlapping. I'm going to grab there, and we're going to go Control minus. Let's just move this one to the M, move it, and we'll move it to the cutters, and it'll disappear. And there we've got that. Alright, let's do the same thing for the top here. So let's go front view. Let's go wireframe. Let's add in a cube. Grab that cube. Let's put the cube there. So we're going to scale that in the X, bring it about there. Scale in the Z to about there. Looking at that now. Let's go into thing view. So we're going to scale in the Y, grab it in the Y and bring it forward, and then let's go Control A, apply the scale, and edge mode. Let's grab these edges here, not that one, so just Control Z and it'll just take away your last step. Front view, wireframe, Control B, bevel it, and we got that there. Probably a bit harsher. Out of wireframe mode, object mode. Let's just apply the shade smooth, auto smooth. It's got quite a bit of ridging. That should be alright. What I'm going to do is G, Y, grab it, and let's move it in. Perfect. Now, what we can see is it's actually, if you look over there, it's cutting through this one at the top, and then this one as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to Control D, duplicate that, and then let go. Whilst we've got that one, let's cut this one first there. And again, just applying a Boolean difference. So again, I'm using the hard ops add-on. Just Control minus, and we'll go from there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab the cutters. What have we got there? So we've got that one, and now we just need to grab that one, Control minus, and we've got it there as well. Perfect. So M cutters, grab that one, M cutters, and there we go. So now it is cutting through. So this is some Z fighting. So is it just grab these cutters, and we just need to see which one it is. G, Y, and we'll move that in, just so they're not overly touching there. Again, hide those cutters, and that should be all right for now. So we've done the trigger. That we'll fix up some of the proportioning, the scaling again a bit, because I think that one is probably about right. All right, let's add some of that detailing on there, and then we'll come back and do that one over there, which is just a little bit more complicated, and then the grip. All right, so let's grab here. Let's go front view. Let's go over there. Let's go wireframe, and then we're going to add in these slits and these over there. So all we're going to do is just drop in a cube. Use our friendly cube, scale it in, grab it, put it there, scale it in so we can see. Scale in the Z, move it up out of that view there. Let's go into right view. We can see it. Let's rotate it. Just G, grab it, and we can see our slit over there. Go front view. We can probably scale it in the X. Scale in the X. Grab it in the X. Move it about there, and we can see it's actually probably about here. Right view. Again, just eyeballing this. Again, not a perfect science. Grabbing that one. Control minus. Again, it's just all I'm doing is applying a difference boolean over there. So it's just the difference boolean. Let's put that cut into M cutters, and perfect. We're going to just add those slits in over there. So let's go front view, Control A, add a cube, grab that cube, scale it, grab it over there. Top view, probably scale in the Y a little bit. Let's go into edge mode. Let's go actually object mode. Let's apply the scale. Edge mode. Let's grab those edges, local viewed over there. What we can do is we can grab those edges there. Control B, and we're going to bevel them. Throw in a few segments, and then what we can do is hold Alt, grab all of those, Alt the same for there, and we can bevel those. Just giving it a bit of shape. Out of local view, go to top view, go back to object mode. What we're looking at is we're going to slit those in, scale in the Y, scale in the X, probably scale in the Y again, right view, scale in the Z, grab that, and we can put that so it goes all the way through. Go back to the top, rotate it, grab it, Shift D, duplicate it, and we can put it in there. All we're going to do now is actually, let's go top view, let's go right, grab that one and rotate it slightly there so it's at that angle, and then we just grab one at a time. Again, difference boolean, grabbing that one, and we're just going to subtract them from each other. That one, subtracting from each other. M cutters, and we've got that bit of shape over there now. Again, probably not the right way, so we can fix that all up. It's actually, if I just show the cutters, so we'll just take those cutters, we grab both of them, go top view, and what we could do is right view, is if we take it from the top, we can rotate them. Grabbing them there, just moving them down, scaling in the one. No, don't need to do that actually. Hide the cutters and we can just move that there. We can move it all around, we can play with those. I mean, I actually undo that. You can just see you can move them. I liked it like that, to be honest. I'll leave that in actually. Move those cutters. I'm just going to grab them in the X and move them forward a bit, and then hide the cutters. That's all right. Let's grab there. Let's add a shade smooth. Grabbing there, shade smooth, and then auto smooths on. Auto smooths on. Perfect. So that's looking all right there. That's okay there. Let's grab that, shade smooth, auto smooth. That's all right. Let's just quickly work on that one. What we're going to do is we're going to apply these cutters. So let's apply these booleans, and what we now can do is going back into edge mode, and we're going to grab that edge and that edge. So holding shift, grabbing both those, and control B, and we'll just bevel those in. And we can do the same with the bottom edge over here. So just grabbing that, control B, and bevel in that. Back to object mode, shade smooth, auto smooths on. And you can see it's just not as harsh. So that looks a bit better. What we could do is actually unhide that cutter. You can see the cutter's probably looping too much. It almost looks like a over exaggerated half pipe. So let's grab that, let's scale it. We can't, we applied the cutters. Alright, so all we can do then is actually we can just grab it and grab it there, move it. We just scale it more, grab it there, and we can just control minus again and just add a new boolean difference. So we just created another one and we just apply that one. Then we can go edge mode, hide the cutters, grabbing that edge again, and just beveling that. Make it a bit smoother. Front view. Alright, so it is starting to take shape now. It's starting to look a bit more realistic. Let's have a look at what now we can work on. Let's probably do the grip, and then we can add in some of these the details in there. You can take a lot more time than we have. We've kind of just gone through it. I just want to show the overview and all of that of it. So yeah, perfect. Alright, let's have a look at what we've got here. So you can see that's actually not even going to the other side. Two ways you can fix. So if we're not, let's just actually go best way. Let's go to edge mode. So we're going to edge mode. We just throw in a loop cut and we can move our loop cut there. That's all it kind of was. We haven't taken our loop cut all the way across to there, and we can probably put another one in there, over there. So if we just actually grab that one, Alt GG, and we can just slide it across. Alright. Object mode. We added the subdivision. Let's apply the subdivision. So we can apply it. Now that we've applied it, so actually I'll undo it. Before I do apply it, let's have a look at the edges. You can see all the edges over here, even the faces. So what we're going to do is you can see there isn't as many. If we put that in, we can see. So, but once I go object mode, apply, face, it's given us a lot more faces now. So if I went there, what we're going to do is we're going to use this to create these ridges over here. So let's go there, let's go front view. And let's start actually creating. So we'll just create some different ones over there. Let's go front. So I'm just going to grab those. So holding Alt, and what I'm actually wanting is in between over there. And I'm just going to grab every other. every other one. Control Z just to get that and just grab it. Very manual. I'm happy if anyone knows a much quicker way to doing this type of thing, please leave a comment. I couldn't think of a quicker way to do it, adding this type of detailing that would come out on the 3D print. So let's just have a look, and it goes all the way down. So just going there, front view, holding Alt and Shift, just keep selecting. Control minus. Extremely tedious. Okay, so let's go back to front view, and then what we're going to have a look at is, so the ridges actually kind of go down there, so we're going to get rid of some of these in the back there, and it doesn't go all the way to the front. So if we go to the front view, now what we're going to do is we're going to, because it's selected all of them in a round, what we want is we want to go front view, we're going to hit C, and that's going to allow us to select there, so we can actually make selections within the circle there. So I'm just going to Control Z that. Control Z to get rid of that. Let's go hit C again, and let's hold Shift. Holding Shift, it'll deselect. So what we can do is we can actually just deselect them. So what we're going to do is we'll deselect those ones, so just give us that gap there. Then we know it goes all the way around, so just escape that. And we haven't selected the other side because we weren't in wireframe, but what we'll do is we'll mirror it just to fix it, because it'll save us a bit of time. And then we know what we don't want is we want some of these to actually not go all the way. So let's go back to the front view, and we want to just create a, let's do this, grab the C, hold Shift again, and just deselect some of these. So let's probably go to about there. And then just creating that bit of shape there. Escape, and we can add that one in because it's not the same, so we'll add it in, we'll add it in, and we'll add it in. Give it just that bit of shape. We know that these are there, so this one over here, we're going to hit C again, Shift, and deselect these ones again. So we just deselect that. Again, we haven't escaped there, and you can see it's not mirrored the same on the side, because I should have used wireframe. But again, just to get it out of that, we'll do it, and then I'll show you how to mirror to the other side. So all I'm going to do whilst I've got these is we're going to hit inset a tiny bit, E to extrude, cancel that, Shift S. And whilst we've got that Shift S over there, annoyingly we've grabbed the ones on the inside because we looped it all the way around. Alright, so it's Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, undo all of that. Let's go into Loco View over here, hit C, hold Shift, and we can just deselect all of these. Just swiping across. Escape, Shift. So hitting C and then just Shift and unselect them all. Let's just grab all of those ones as well. Escape over there. Alright, let's do that again. So let's just go front view. Whilst we're in there, what we're going to do is we're going to go E to extrude, right click cancel, Alt S, scaling it, and we can just scale it up like that. While we got there, it's got individual origins, and we can just scale them. Inset, actually. Is that going to work? No, it's not. 3D cursor, medium point. Object mode, Control A, rotation in scale, back to face mode, going there, individual origins, and we're going to scale them up. Object mode, and we've got that. So it'll give us the ridges. Now we know that it's not mirrored the same on that side, so what we're going to do is at this point we can just go there, add a modifier, let's go into a mirror, and then X, we're going to mirror it in the Z to itself over there, and that should apply it over there, just to itself. And then we can just apply that mirror out of local view, and then we've got it on the other side as well over there now. Alright, so I've probably carried on longer in this video than I intended. We're probably almost done, to be fair, so let's just check it out and let's add some finer detailing just to make it look probably. Let's go front view, have a look at what it looks like. So we've added in that detail, that bit of detail. We're going to do that, so we might do that in a separate video. But what I'll do is I'll throw on some color at the moment, just add some so we can see what we've got and how it kind of looks so far. So let's just go into materials, grab one of these, new material, scroll down, metallic, let's pump up that metallic. Let's go into roughness, put that down a bit so we can see what we're doing over here. Let's have a look there. Color, so select our color, black, metallic, roughness, clear coat, let's add some clear coat on, and some clear coat roughness over there. Let's select all, then just shift select the one that you've done, that one that we just colored, and we can go there, drop it down, copy materials to everything, go in there, and let's hide that quickly, and we can see what we've got so far. So that's what it's starting to look like. That we've got at the level we've got to. Some of these are a bit big, and that we can just scale these in, add those proportions in a bit. But that's the general shape of what we've got. Alright, let's do that. Let's go back. Let's just go back to this mode. I would say at any of these points, continuously save. Always save. I know I'm saying it really late because I've actually forgotten, but always save. So I would say that's probably a good place to leave this. So this is where we are, and what we'll do is when we kind of come back is we can do the let's go into wireframe, let's go into the front view, and we can see we can start adding the details. So object mode, just grab that, let's go take that in, so we can start adding in the smaller details, some of these more of these cuts. On the flip side we'll add in these grooves in that, but I think it's a good place to finish it off. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.